So Kyle and I are here, and we've decided that we're going to take advantage of the fact that there's a Nissan Titan available for us to review. Kyle, what's your initial feel of the Nissan Titan?
Clunky and cheap.
I wouldn't go that far. I actually think Nissan's done a good job. It looks like they've tried to make a well-built truck.
Tried is the key word there.
Well, they've definitely taken a lot of cues from us to try and put together something serviceable on the road. I do know that most Nissan Titan owners lift the truck because the Nissan suspension is not exactly reliable. That's just been my experience, but I digress. So one of the first things I want to point out is this is the 17-inch standard wheel that you get on this level of Titan. Quite frankly, when I see it, the first thing I think, Ultima, Sentra. I think it's actually the same 17-inch wheel they use on the Ultima. I'm not even kidding. But we'll carry on. Again, we want to give this truck the benefit of the doubt. The one thing they have done really well, I'm going to get Kyle to open the doors. I just opened up both doors. I actually think they have done a really nice job with the cab size in the Titan. Unfortunately, they forgot that the door needs to actually open all the way for people to get in. We're going to walk over and give you a view. So they've taken all that space and kind of really taken it away by only giving you a 70-degree door opening, therefore making it a little more difficult to get in. Ram, 88-degree door opening, much easier to get in and out. And with our new flat floor, much easier to move your feet around. But even when you look from the side, it's an impressive amount of space for a pickup truck. And they've kind of followed suit with the rest of the manufacturers with a 5'7" bed. Here's my new favorite feature of the Titan though. Let's open that gate up. And I want you to listen closely. Oh, that's right. You heard that little tingling sound? Maybe close the gate and see if we can hear it again. Oh, there it is. So somebody moved gravel in this truck, and the tailgate's so poorly made that the tailgate's now full of gravel.
It's great with the slow close on this.
Yeah.
Nice feature, so it's not slamming down.
It is a nice feature.
But the, go Jason Waterfall's effect on
Well, yeah,
the
I mean,
tailgate,
just the fact
not so
that
much.
someone moved gravel in this once and the gate's full of gravel doesn't bode well for how well it's actually constructed. So we're taking another look here just from the back. This is an SV model, so it's not the base model. S is the base model with Nissan. So SV is a nice midline model. I'll give credit where credit's due. Their tail lamps, their bed lamp is LED. It's quite nice. Now, in under here, one of the things you'll see is you can see the frame. It's only a partial wheel well liner. With Dodge, you get a standard full-size wheel well liner, covers everything. And again, I don't know if you can see it, if you can see that leaf spring. So still standing on, 50-year-old technology using a leaf spring in the back. And again, Ram, independent multi-link rear suspension. I want to kind of bring it inside. Kyle's just taking a liberty of looking here. And the one thing that sticks out to me is really just a very basic radio. Not too flashy. Like even our base radio is at least touchscreen in a Bighorn. So, I think again, very simplified, rudimentary design. I don't really find that they've kind of put any effort into making this a step forward.
No,
It's almost like they've given up. 4-inch display instead of the 7-inch that we have in the Dodge. Still using full analog dials. When I'm looking at it, I mean, again, nice truck, well put together, but I don't think that this stands up to a Ram. I mean, even the basic standard levels of Ram have equipment that is probably on the 3rd or 4th level of this Titan.
Again, giving credit where credit is due. I do like the push button start. They do have the USB auxiliary port plug-in.
Hi, 1998. We want our 4-wheel drive back.
Took the words right out of my mouth. It's turn dial. Now we do have a turn dial in our older 2018 models. However, you're pushing in to get to 4-wheel low, right? Which is telling me that it's getting there, but you don't even need to put in real neutral. So
I saw it had a backup camera. Can you see what that looks like?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, so again, hey, 1999 called. They want their backup camera back. It doesn't even have the... Does it turn?
Hold on, I'm gonna try to get it back out of 4x4 if it lets me.
Good luck with that.
I know. Let's try this. There she goes.
Oh, there's another Sentra feature right there. The push button start. It's the same one that's in the Sentra.
Yeah, it looks like it. controls on the steering wheel, pretty standard. You know, prefer the back of the wheel, but again, you know, it's still slightly different. Not that terrible with that. Now, already turning it, you can feel it's not the tightest turn. Definitely, it almost feels like there's no, the power steering's gone. That's gone. Like it's very tight on it. Not tight on it. Sorry, it's very, very, very.
You can feel that difference in that leaf spring. I mean, I'm bouncing all over the place. We're just in the parking lot.
Now, I will say, like, if you listen, like, if I roll down the windows, I'm gonna put this in park for a second.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it sounds nice in the future, but if you hear that little vibration there,
No, it's almost like the butterflies. Anyway.
yeah. It's almost like the piston sticking. Like, no, front here. Let's go over a bump here.
But don't. I'm gonna lose my phone. Oh. Oh. Oh man, the brakes work. Well, there's a nice plus of the Titan 4-wheel disc brake. They work well. Doesn't take the bumps so good though.
Oh, whoa! And I'm not even just.
Well, you know that one thing about Titan is Titan was one of those trucks that was featured in that one video to show the box flex, and Titan actually failed that test because the box actually came up and touched the corner cap.
Wow.
I kind of understand why now. Like, I mean, when you're looking leaf springs,
Here, we're gonna
and
take this on some gravel. See how she
probably
handles.
still C-channel frame. Oh, don't go on gravel.
Yeah, why not?
We won't get out of it. We'll get stuck.
Oh, we'll try it.
Oh man,
This thing turns like a boat. Jesus.
drives like a boat. Like I feel like I'm floating the whole time here.
And not in a good way.
No.
Okay, that actually gave me some difficulty there. Like,
Getting up over the hump.
getting over the hump. Like, it was spinning. Like, I understand we're in two-wheel drive mode, but...
So recognize we're not doing a very far test drive in the Titan simply because this is a rental and it's not ours, and we just kind of wanted to showcase some of the difference between this and a Ram.
And frankly, I really wouldn't want people seeing me drive a Titan.
There's that.
Right?
Yeah. So we're gonna park it and maybe take it back to the rental company shortly.
I doubt they have a lineup for it, that's for sure.
Wow.
But
I
again,
guess if
like,
somebody
it's-
needs to haul gravel and
like-
lose half of it in the gate.
Well, it can barely get over gravel. It may just got stuck in gravel, and that's how it got there. Like, it's not
True.
bad. Like, you know, the brakes are nice, as we see with Jason. It has some nice features, but for overall wise, again, hello 1998 for you.
And I don't know, like for me, like I'm looking in the visibility. I've been holding it up as we've been driving around, but it's really just dawned on me now that I'm kind of looking through the window and not the camera, is that you actually have a reduced visibility in this compared to a Ram. I find the rake of the windshield is so stark.
Look at the doors. Like, the hump is right from a Ford.
Well, what? Mike Knapp Ford serviced it. Nissan doesn't even service their own vehicles. Mike Knapp Ford had to service this one, which doesn't even make sense, but okay. Well, Nissan wouldn't service their own vehicle, but hey.
And now, the other thing I want to point out is the slider in the back. Right?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It's
seeing that.
manual. So, again, unlike the Rams, even our base SLT with the back slider, it's power, ladies
See, the
and
modular
gentlemen.
seat system doesn't even make sense because now you can fold down the seat. It looks as though you could probably fold the seat up. Kyle's going to kind of demonstrate that for us. So, yeah, okay. So, can we fold the seat up? Yeah, okay. So, the seat goes
That's
up.
not bad. I like that.
It's not
I'll give you
terrible,
that.
but you know what? It's not flat. There's a
No.
hump in the floor. Right in the middle. You couldn't even put this thing loaded flat. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Yeah. Like, lots of space,
Yeah, not bad.
which is great.
Give me the camera.
But this giant hump in the floor. I mean, you can't put anything in there because of that hump. You would almost have to put the seats down and fold the backs down to have a flat space to put anything flat in here.
Again,
And nothing's hidden.
nothing's hitting. Nothing.
See, that's the one thing that Dodge does a lot better with the Ram is that everything's tucked away. All your noise and vibration stuff's taken care of. We're actually going as far as doing what the luxury car stuff's doing now and pumping in noise to help make the ride quality better, which there's none of that in here.
Again, we only took it around the dealership, and it was evident that the suspension is not to par
See, and this,
at all.
this is terrible.
Hey, more go around.
Confusing and like, useless. You know, Ram designed their center console with contractors in mind. So contractors helped with the design. This isn't even modular. It's not even two-piece. We at least have two pieces of storage. And yeah,
very
this is
clunky.
a seat, but
again, go back to my original statement: cheap and clunky.
I mean, really, what are you going to put there? That's not even big enough to fit an iPad.
Again, for comparison, I'm going to put my iPhone in there for you folks, just so you can see.
He doesn't even have the big iPhone because he's too cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got the small one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can hide it.
If it'll close over it, like, geez.
Barely.
Now, more cup holders here, but...
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, well, no surprise there.
I can't get it back down. Oh, well.
Oh, well. Give it back to Jason.
I'm drive uncomfortable now.
All right, we're gonna try backing this thing in, and we'll see how she goes.
I don't even know how you're going to get past these people. The turn radius in this
Yeah,
thing.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
terrible. Okay, we're going to attempt, well, Kyle's going to attempt to back the car in. So, let's have a look at the backup camera. Not even active grid lines. So again, you know, this is the kind of stuff that was like 1998. Show you what's going on in the mirror. So, we got in the spot.
It wasn't
I mean,
bad.
it's not like we didn't. We got in the spot, but
I didn't like it.
you don't have a tight turn radius. If you had to work in a downtown Toronto or a downtown St. Catharines
No.
in a Titan, I think you'd be in trouble.
Like, we can
What's
do it.
this? Oh, just
Yeah,
sunglass
sure.
storage. Yeah, all right.
Like, you know, we can next stage could try parallel parking it, but to tell you the truth, I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to.
No, that's fair.
Right?
Yeah. So again, I think there's a lot of things the Titan did well. You know, it's not a terrible looking truck. From what I understand, they're built in Texas or something now, and they're trying to give it some acumen. But I don't see how this can compare to a Ram. Now, the one thing they haven't done is they've avoided listing the displacement size of their V8 on the side of the vehicle. Now, when I'm looking, this is a 5.7 liter V8. It has an electronic throttle. Nissan has always historically had very good drivelines, so I'm not going to take any shot at the engine or anything like that. However, I do know that this is roughly 70 horsepower less than our Ram. Can't understand why with the same displacement size. I do know it has multi-displacement similar to the Ram as well. The transmission that's in there is a 6-speed. They do actually a CVT in these as well, I believe, which would be kind of goofy. So,
And again, to be clear, this is a 2018. Right?
yeah, this is an 18. This isn't like this is an old truck. So just to kind of wrap things up, we'll take one last shot here of the truck. Again, from style standpoint, it's not a bad looking truck. I think it's a really nice take on what they've done previously. Definitely lots of shortcoming from a Ram. I think at the end of the day, you have your choice. You could drive the Nissan Titan, or you could drive a Ram. Titan, Ram. Just looking at that, and then looking at that, I guess you guys get to make the call. Thanks for having us. Thanks for watching.